This movie will forever be remembered as the movie that took on COVID and saved cinema. Tenet, directed by the man himself, Christopher Nolan, and is the 2020 Christopher Nolan espionage thriller. Tenet tells the story taking place in the future, though not too far into the future, and we follow the protagonist, played by John David Washington. Yeah, he literally doesn't have any other name. He's only referred to as the protagonist, and he is tasked by his organisation, armed with only one word, a tenant, which opens doors through time. And his mission is to prevent this device known as the algorithm from being set off that will trigger World War III. And to do so, he gets closer to Kat, played by Elizabeth Debicki, and helps her to not only escape her abusive husband, whose fate could set off the algorithm, but also reunite her with her son. Now, my deepest apologies for being physically unable to go and see and support this movie in cinemas at the time. This movie was luckily for us in 2020 one of the least delayed blockbusters that year. It was initially supposed to be released in either June or July 2020, but the UK got it in August and the US got it in September. So I could not be more appreciative of this movie and for its intentions of attempting to revive cinema during the worst period of time for movies with the COVID pandemic last year. And I could not be more thankful to Christopher Nolan for trying to keep cinema alive. He refused to put this movie on streaming. He fought to get this movie on the big screen. And some say Tenet didn't do well. Well, I respectfully disagree. It may not have joined the $1 billion club, but hey, over $300 million is still a box office smasher when other movies bombed way harder than Tenet that year. But now that I have finally gotten round to watching Tenet, my best friend and his family so generously got me the DVD for Christmas. I finally had the free time to sit down and watch it for myself, and Tenet is terrific. It is now my favourite Christopher Nolan movie. Sorry, Inception, but you've just been dethroned. In fact, this feels like a sequel to Inception, coming out 10 years after Inception. You can see that Christopher Nolan was inspired to make, a movie that had never been done before. With Inception, that was a blockbuster with conflict based around dreams, whereas Tenet is literally Nolan's James Bond. You can see that Nolan took ideas from James Bond and Doctor Who. Draw Tenet may be the most complicated blockbuster ever made. Even by looking at the poster, you're just clueless what on earth is this movie actually about. But it doesn't take Albert Einstein to figure out what's going on once you've seen it, and when you rewatch it, so you will get the events of the narrative way easier. And this movie has to be the most mind-blowing looking and shot Nolan film I've ever seen. I mean, you can see that Nolan's favourite way to watch and view a movie is IMAX. So yeah, this movie has some immaculate shots the ocean, of the coastline. And that opening action sequence in the stadium, maybe the most thrilling and epic Christopher Nolan opening since Bane escaping the plane in The Dark Knight Rises, and and Tennant has the finest action I have ever seen in a Christopher Nolan movie, from a hallway fight to a car chase to the uh, astonishing final battle in the desert, and all of these action scenes have the element of time travel and time interference in them. So the effects in this movie of time moving backwards instead of forwards, achieved with minimal to no CGI, just hand this movie the Oscar for Best Visual Effects. There is no debate what movie has the most impressive visuals of 2020, and the fact that there is the time travel element in these action scenes, especially in the hallway fight where the protagonist is fighting his future self. They're I mean, the consequences will never be the same if something goes wrong within the action, and uh, uh, the cast is the greatest I have ever seen in a Nolan motion picture, from John David Washington as the protagonist. He is awesome. We know literally nothing about his backstory, or where he came from, and yet we consistently care about what's going to happen to him as he embarks on this life-threatening mission to save the world and prevent the apocalypse, and he is a truly Nolan's take on James Bond, and especially badass in the action. He kicks a tremendous ass in the action, especially in a kitchen fight scene where he grabs a cheese grater and plates and uses them as weapons. Uh, Clement's Posse even stars in this movie. I have not seen her in a blockbuster since Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2, and I haven't seen a single review talk about her character. I mean, sure, she's only in one scene, but so she still deserves a mention, as she does uh, as she does serve one significant purpose to the plot. So she explains how the time going backwards technique works, and she gives a perfect performance in the little screen time she has. And I mean, the entire uh, theme of time going backwards instead of forwards has uh, has always entranced me. You know, what if you ate your meal backwards? You would literally regurgitate it from your body. Oh, that's so gross. Thinking about it, but yeah, but Elizabeth Debicki, she is the true star of Tennant for me, and Kat's storyline was by far the most engaging conflict in the film. I just wanted her to, be rid of her abusive arsehole husband, and to reunite with her son, and I mean, the scenes of domestic abuse in this movie are not sugarcoated. They are uncomfortable to behold, and Kenneth Branagh plays the most unlikable villain I have ever seen in a Christopher Nolan movie. He made Bane from The Dark Knight Rises and the Joker from The Dark Knight looks salvageable in comparison. I have never despised a Christopher Nolan villain more than him, and he has to be the number one movie villain of 2020. I mean, Kenneth Branagh fully redeemed himself after Artemis Fowl, and even Robert Pattinson gives one of the uh, strongest performances of his career. I mean, with this The Lighthouse and The Devil All the Time, he's done extremely well for himself after Twilight, and what I didn't expect was the revelation of that the protagonist will in the future recruit him for the organization. So the so technically uh, his Robert Pattinson's future is the protagonist's past, and how this film was rated 12A and not 15, I will never know. I bet it's only just got away with the 12A rating. I'm sure the British film classification were this close to certificating this movie 15 due to the domestic abuse scenes. Maybe a long watch at 2 hours and 20 minutes, but the pacing is as speedy as a peregrine falcon, trust me. Michael Caine, of course, couldn't stay away from a Christopher Nolan movie. When you look at him, you go, that is literally Alfred from the Dark Knight trilogy appearing in this movie. He just has one scene where he's explaining some exposition, but it's still a wonderful moment to see Michael Caine again. You can see how close Michael Caine and Christopher Nolan are as actor and director, and yeah, and the and the Indian woman, she's another underrated character. I mean, she turns out to be the one who gives the most vital information to the protagonist in how to take down Kenneth Branagh's character and to stop the algorithm. And whereas we were initially led to believe it was her husband, but it turns out he doesn't know anything. So and the sound design and sound effects for Tenet help fully help you feel like you are in the movie. They are that loud and 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 I know this movie has been criticised for its soundtrack. Sadly, long-time Nolan composer Hans Zimmer was unable to score Tenet as he was preoccupied with No Time to Die at the time, so Tenet's score was composed by Ludwig Göransson, and I don't get the hate or criticism for this score whatsoever. I even though the music does make it's harder to hear what the characters are saying occasionally. Like in a scene, the music will be like, and you're like, can you speak up? Well, that helps the movie feel all the more real, and it especially heightens the intensity in the action. Yeah, Nolan gives you more than a movie with Tenet. He gives you an exhilarating ride. So overall, I do not have one corner with Tenet. It's is everything a Nolan movie should be and more. I can gladly say it has made my top 10, if not top 5 favourite movies of 2020. I give Tenet 5 stars out of 5. Best movie ever. I just want to watch one more movie, just one more movie, guys. Wonder Woman 1984, and then I will at last be able to do my top 10 best and worst movies of 2020 list. Hooray! Well, I love you guys. Thank you for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this review. And what are your thoughts on Tenet, and how does it compare to Nolan's other movies for you? Please comment and let me know. Please like this video and subscribe. Please follow on Twitter and on Instagram, and I'll see you next time. And remember, movies are us. Bye, guys.